And breaking right now, we are awaiting a jury's decision in the Harvest Homecoming murder trial that's gone on for 3 weeks now. Thanks for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Alex Dieterer.
And I'm Conrad DeLuche. We're filling in for Doug and Connie tonight. Now, after 4 hours of deliberations just 10 minutes ago, our Ian Hardwitt, who's been following this trial, he told us the jury was coming back into the courtroom. Isaiah Page stands accused of killing 18-year-old Bryce Gerlach of Corydon, Indiana, in a shootout that prosecutors say involved a gang rivalry.
And as a reminder, cameras are not allowed in the courtroom. Ian will be live with us shortly as soon as the final announcement is made. Now to a major ruling today. The Supreme Court has ruled that Trump's sweeping global tariffs are illegal.
It's a decision reverberating through the global economy and a blow to President Trump's economic agenda and foreign policy. CNN's Karen Kaifa has the latest on what it means for consumers.
In the most significant case involving the U.S. economy to reach the justices in decades, the Supreme Court ruled that President Donald Trump violated federal law when he unilaterally imposed sweeping tariffs around the globe. The 6-3 majority opinion written by Chief Justice John Roberts emphasized that the power to enact such tariffs must be clearly granted by Congress, and the emergency authority Trump attempted to rely on falls short. The decision delivering a blow to Trump's second-term economic agenda and foreign policy.
This was an important case to me, more as a symbol of economic national security.
Experts noting the court only struck down one avenue for Trump's tariff plans.
We shouldn't think that the topic of tariffs is now going away somehow, even beyond potential lawsuits, because the president has any number of other ways that he can continue to try and push for tariffs and impact, levies. So we'll be watching for that.
For consumers, immediate relief from the decision is unlikely, economists say, because the court did not give any guidance on what should happen to the tariff revenue already collected.
Even if refunds are ultimately issued, they're not going to be issued to consumers. They're going to be issued to firms. And then you're depending on firms ultimately passing those back to the consumer.
As of December 14th, federal data showed the government had collected $134 billion in revenue from the tariffs that were struck down. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
And tonight, lawmakers from Kentucky are reacting to that ruling, including Republican Senator Mitch McConnell.
In a statement today, McConnell said, quote, "Today, the Supreme Court reaffirmed authority that has rested with Congress for centuries. Congress's role in trade policy, as I have warned repeatedly, is not an inconvenience to avoid. If the executive would like to enact trade policies that impact American producers and consumers, its path forward is crystal clear. Convince their representatives under Article 1, end quote."
President Donald Trump's tariffs have barely moved the needle on the country's trade deficit. New data from the Commerce Department shows it went down just 0.2% last year. The trade deficit measures how much more the U.S. imports than exports. Cutting down on the country's reliance on imports was a main reason for Trump's tariffs. One reason the deficit didn't move much last year was importers stockpiled goods before the tariffs took effect. And while a little bit of a calmer, cooler day today compared to what we saw yesterday, but still a windy one. The wind was shaking my house all day today.
You could really feel it out there, huh, Austin?
It got pushed around on the interstate quite a bit, especially if you drive a small car or perhaps a box truck. That can really catch that wind. But yeah, it's a lot cooler right now. We're down 9 degrees compared to 24 hours ago. And actually, if we showed this map, you say like 3 o'clock, it would probably show like 20. So we're quite a bit cooler right now, have been all day. It's been breezy as well. So the 3 things you need to know, well, you know that one already. It's happening right now. What's on the way next? Cooler days through Monday, if not downright chilly by Sunday and Monday. We're looking at weekend wintry mix. It'll depend on the day and the time and the temperature, what actually ends up falling. I'll be timing that out in my full forecast. Lovely blue skies, though, over the Ohio River, and temperatures here in the metro, we're in the lower 50s. It's not that bad out there, right near average for this time of year, actually, for highs at least. And we're in the mid to upper 40s in southern Indiana, mid to upper 50s, actually mainly the mid 50s in portions of southern Kentuckiana. So not all that bad out there, though it is breezy. Up to 23 miles per hour. We're seeing those wind gusts, and we'll see cloud cover increase tonight. Details on your weekend in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Austin. In Bloomington, Indiana today, the National Weather Service began damage surveys after a tornado tore through last night.
And you can see that video of that cell beginning to spin right here on your screen. Preliminary findings indicate it was an EF1 tornado with wind speeds around 100 miles per hour. That tornado spun up around 7 last night. It was part of a system that moved across Indiana. You can see the many warnings that were issued right here.
Our Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Connie Offit are in Bloomington, showing us the damage left behind.
Toppled over trees line a narrow road in a subdivision near the Monroe County, Indiana airport. Massive roots ripped from the soil. Pieces of people's Bloomington homes missing.
Anytime we get these wintertime tornadoes, it does stand out to us.
National Weather Service meteorologist Aaron Updike is with a team surveying the damage.
We're seeing a lot of tree damage, especially behind here. You can see topped trees of hardwood, so maples, oaks, things like that.
His preliminary rating of a tornado that touched down Thursday around 7 p.m. is an EF1. Wind speeds that may have reached around 100 miles per hour.
And we're also seeing some housing damage, especially with shingles, siding, and anything with like carports, garages, things like that.
He says the tornado started upstream of this area near Cave Road and Airport Road, impacting neighborhoods, the airport, and parts of a shopping center. Here at the Fifth Third Bank on West 3rd Street, you can see there is debris all around me. The kiosks of this drive-through, parts of the roof, have all landed on the ground. This business caught in the wake of the tornado. Updike says the twister could have stretched 1 to 2 miles. In the inflow, or the air around the tornado, measured at the airport Thursday night was 70 miles per hour.
So even inflow outside of the tornado was severe thunderstorm warning criteria.
He says there's been 40 February tornadoes since 1950 in Indiana. The last one was in 2024.
We don't get a lot of tornadoes in February.
Now they're continuing to survey this tornado that made its way from central Illinois to central Indiana, leaving behind debris and a road to recovery. In Bloomington, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 on your side.
And thankfully, there are no reported injuries or deaths related to the tornado.
The National Weather Service has another team in Sullivan County, Indiana, surveying damage from a possible tornado there as well. The WHAS11 weather impact team was live tracking that storm as it happened last night. And as the weather clears, our coverage will continue with live updates. Watch us anytime on our streaming app, WHAS11 Plus, and online at WHAS11.com.
Well, a massive blaze in 2024 destroyed this entire apartment building in Nulu. And now the people who lived in the building are suing the property owners. 37 of these units were occupied at the time. Luckily, no one was hurt. Now at least 11 of those renters are named in a lawsuit, accusing 310 and Buckingham Management of negligence. They claim the property was not enforcing basic fire safety measures. We've reached out to the business and are awaiting a response to these allegations.
New tonight, Churchill Downs could be in hot water after a recently filed complaint alleges the track owes millions of dollars after refusing to pay its 2025 assessment fees. In a complaint filed this week, the Horse Safety and Integrity Authority, or HISA, accused Churchill Downs of freeloading after not paying for safety inspections and drug testing at its racetracks last year. Churchill Downs has responded, saying any suggestion that it's not supporting safety efforts is, quote, inaccurate. If a resolution is not found soon, Churchill Downs could be barred from simulcasting races, including the Kentucky Derby, which means only in-person betting at the track would be available. A hearing is scheduled for March 11th.
A major construction milestone at the Kentucky Exposition Center. Today's topping off ceremony marked a turning point in the project as the final structural beam was placed. It's part of a $470 million transformation at the Expo Center, the largest expansion and renovation project in its 70-year history. Guests signed the beam before it was raised into place today, leaving a permanent mark on the building structure.
Today is just not about bricks and steel. It's about momentum. It is about Kentucky continuing to invest in the infrastructure that drives opportunity, commerce, and agriculture across this Commonwealth.
When complete, the Expo Center will be the 5th largest convention center in the United States. Construction is expected to finish by the end of 2026.
Now breaking right now, just minutes ago, a jury has reached a decision in the Harvest Homecoming murder trial that's gone on for 3 weeks. Let's head straight out to our Ian Hardwitt, who's been following this trial. Ian, what can you tell us about the jury's decision?
Conroy, the jury decided that Isaiah Page was guilty on all 4 counts that the state of Indiana charged him with, including the murder of 18-year-old Bryce Gerlach from Corydon, Indiana, who was set to graduate high school before he died there on a date with his girlfriend at Harvest Homecoming, October 12th, 2024. The charges against him, the first one is murder, the second one is attempted murder. That would be for the people that the prosecutors say Page was there to shoot in the first place. Then we also have attempted aggravated battery and also criminal recklessness. In closing arguments today, state prosecutors say that this all started as a result of gang violence. You're looking at Isaiah Page there. They say he was at the top of the steps at the time of the shooting. Then Bryce Gerlach here, he was at Harvest Homecoming celebrating his anniversary. He was just an innocent bystander caught up in the chaos. While witnesses throughout this trial say Page shot a gun that night in October, they did not say that he shot it directly towards Gerlach. Those shots, prosecutors say, left behind 2 .40 caliber shell casings. Page's cell phone records show that he ended up selling a Glock 40 gun later that police never recovered. Also shared by the prosecution in the courtroom, they say text messages sent by Page talked about him shooting a gun that night in Harvest Homecoming, and in his personal notes said that he had made the news after shooting that gun. We'll bring you more from the prosecution on this when we return with our coverage at 6 o'clock tonight. Reporting live for WHAS 11 News, I'm Ian Hardwitt, on your side.
All right, thank you, Ian. After 3 weeks of that trial, a guilty verdict, but still ahead tonight. We're just months away from the U.S. Senate primaries in Kentucky, and campaign season is in full swing. Our political reporter, Isaiah Kim Martinez, caught up with Republican candidate Nate Morris. We asked him about that major Supreme Court ruling on tariffs today. His reaction next.
It is the Kentucky Lottery jackpot numbers right now. Mega Millions sitting at $416 million. Powerball, $190 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.